This tutorial is going to be how to pull data from DMAC when looking at your students' information from previously given tests. So the first thing that you will do is you will go to DMAC and you will go into Educators. All of the information from previously given tests are going to be in the TEAC score. And to locate that material, you'll come up here to Reports and down to Instructional. Once you get here, you have really two options. You can search by student, which is going to give all the students who took the test at one time. If you are a subject like math, reading, writing in the upper grades, and you want it to be broken down by your homeroom kids, then as they take the test in DMAC, you have to ask them to select their homeroom teacher and not their example writing teacher or math teacher, so that it breaks it down by homerooms. If they don't do it or don't do it correctly, then you're going to get kids some kids are going to be in their homeroom classes, and some kids are going to be just in your particular class, whether it be math, reading, writing. So in order for this to show up, you have to have them denote that when they're inputting their data into DMAC. So for now, we'll click on student. I'm just going to pick a writing test from 2016. When you hover over these, you can see what test it was, when was it given. You can see it's broken down alphabetically from math, reading, writing, science. Of course, 05 would be 5th grade, 04 3rd grade, 03 2nd or 3rd grade, and so on. I'm just going to go ahead and pull one of these writing tests. These kids no longer are on our campus. Okay, so all of these kids come up, so I can click on individual ones if I'm just looking for a select group, or I can click all and get every one of them to show up. Here you can see if I select it, that these teachers actually had their kids define them by their homerooms. So if I wanted to see all of the homerooms at one time, I can click on that. If I just want to see 2 of the teachers' homerooms, I can click on that. But again, the kids selected their homeroom teacher when they were taking the DMAC assessment. We'll go ahead and just do students for right now. And I'm going to look at all of them. So there are a lot of different reports with a lot of different information. And so I encourage you to click on about 5 at a time and just kind of look through them, because there might be reports that give you the data more specifically of what you're looking for. But I'm going to tell you today which ones are my go-to reports. The first one is item analysis. That's going to break it down by question. Student quintile is going to put them into by percentages of passing. SE performance, student expectation performance. And then the SE tutorial, which is going to break my kids into groups according to which ones had problems with which questions. So I'm going to go ahead and click off of the student quintile, because that's going to reveal a lot of student data with names. So just know the quintile is the one that breaks it down by percentages. And then I click on View Report. So this is the item analysis, which basically is by question number. It gives you your TEAC, and the information that I glean from this one is I look at, okay, 43% of my kids got this question correct. But more importantly, what was the next answer choice that was that had the highest percentage? So if I look here, the correct answer was B, but my next answer choice that was a high percentage chosen was A. So I'm going to go back to the hard copy of the test, and I'm going to look at A, and I'm going to try to decide what was it about A that made the kids choose that answer choice. Was it a graphic that they've never seen? Was it some vocabulary? Was it the way that the question was worded? Like, what is it that made 23% of my kids choose A over the correct answer? Another thing that I get from this report is, and I'm trying to look for it, if you have one that is pretty close across the board, like even though here the correct answer was J, which was over here, if you look at these two, these are 13 kids said B, 12 kids said C. There was something about B and C that made 25 kids choose one of these two answer choices. So I'm going to go in and look and see, hey, what happened here? What was the confusion? If you look here, the answer choice, only 19% of the kids got D correct. Look at here, 41% of them chose C. So there was something there that the majority of my kids did not get. So I'll go back to number 3 on the test and I'll assess it to see what did I miss, what do I need to reteach. So you can get a lot of data from this one. Your next one is the TEK score by performance. So this is basically the TEKs that were covered, and it clarifies the TEK, and then it tells you how many of each TEK were tested and the percentage. On this one, I'm definitely going to be looking for my heavy hitters. So this was 40% of the test, and only 43% of the kids got it right. That's something I'm going to definitely need to go back and hit and do a reteach on it that's going to be completely different than the way I taught it to begin with. The last report is, and I'm just going to spend a minute on this one since there's student data on here, is it's broken down by TEK, and it tells you, hey, these kids, they missed them all. These kids missed that question. None of them got it correct. These kids missed one of the two questions, and these kids missed them all. So it almost puts them into tutoring groups by level of urgency. Did they miss 2 out of 2? Did they miss 1 out of 2? Did they miss them all? So you kind of can group your kids on where they are on the urgency level. Is this a, oh my gosh, I need to reteach it all? Or I just need to go in and make a quick adjustment. So those are the tests, those are the data analysis sheets that I choose to use. But like I said, if you go back to your original ones, I would really encourage you to go back through and click on each one about 5 at a time and just kind of glance over the information that you can get from it, so that if there's something on there that's interesting to you, that's a report you can pull for your information. These are the ones that we use the most when we're looking at data. The next DMAC video is going to be a tutorial on how you actually create an assessment in DMAC and how you can look at question stems that have been used on prior tests.